Welcome, seekers of knowledge. Welcome, seekers of knowledge, you in whom words ignite the lanterns of consciousness, and whose souls are quenched by the wellspring of wisdom. Here, within the halls of Millennium Library, we embark together on a unique journey through the paths of letters and the labyrinthine corridors of ideas. This is not just a podcast, it is a cultural edifice that rises with you, from you, and for you. We are here to revive the worlds of novels, to delve into the depths of stories, and to present you with the treasures of classic literature, transcending the boundaries of time and space. Every voice you hear, every word that touches your ears, is the fruit of a joint effort, a human and artistic legacy born from the pristine collaboration between a creative human mind and promising artificial intelligence. We have worked together to transform these timeless literary masterpieces, which are now in the public domain, into captivating audio experiences, reaching you pure, clear, and rich. This work, in all its details, is the property of Millennium Library. All broadcasting and production rights are reserved to it, and everything you hear is part of this cultural legacy that we offer to the world. We kindly ask you to enjoy this unique experience and contribute to spreading the light of knowledge while respecting the ownership and rights of this creative production. Millennium Library, where human and artificial intelligence meet to create an enduring legacy. Join us now in this great auditory adventure. Leda and the Leopard. Once upon a time, a boy named Leda was tending cattle with other boys at the foot of a hill. And these boys, in fun, used to call out, Ho, leopard! Ho, leopard! And the echo used to answer from the hill, Ho, leopard! Now, there really was a leopard who lived in the hill, and one day he was playing hide and seek with a lizard which also lived there. The lizard hid, and the leopard looked everywhere for it in vain. At last the leopard sat down to rest, and it chanced that he sat right on top of the lizard, which was hiding in a hole. The lizard thought that the leopard meant to hurt it, and in revenge bit him and fastened onto his rump so that he could not get it off. So that day when the boys came calling out, Ho, leopard! He ran towards them to get their help. But when they saw the leopard, they all fled for their lives. Leda, however, could not run fast because he was lame, and the leopard headed him off and begged him to remove the lizard. This he did after the leopard had sworn not to eat him. And before they parted, the leopard made him promise to tell no one that the lizard had bitten him, and said that if he told then he would be carried off and eaten. So Ledha rejoined his companions and told them nothing of what had passed between him and the leopard. But that night, when they had all gone to bed, Lita's sister-in-law began to worry him to tell her what the leopard had said to him when it had caught him. He told her that the leopard would eat him if he told, but she coaxed him and said that no one could hear them inside the house. So at last he told her that he had taken off a lizard which was hanging onto its rump. Then they went to sleep. But the leopard was hiding at the back of the house, and heard all that they said. And when they were all asleep, he crept in and carried off Lita's bed with Lita in it on his head. When Ledha woke up towards morning, he found himself being carried through dense jungle, and he quietly pulled himself up into one of the trees which overhung the path. Thus, when the leopard put down the bed and was going to eat Ledha, he found it empty. So he went back on his track, and by came to the tree in which Ledha was hiding. The leopard begged Ledha to come down, as he had something to say to him, and promised not to eat him, but directly. Ledha reached the ground. The leopard said, "Now I am going to eat you." Ledha was powerless, so he only asked to be allowed to have one chew of tobacco before he died. The leopard assented, and Ledha felt in his cloth for his tobacco. But the tobacco did not come out easily, and as Ledha felt about for it, the dry tobacco leaves crackled. The leopard asked what the crackling sound was, and Ledha said, "That is the lizard which bit you yesterday." Then the leopard got into a terrible fright and ran away as hard as he could, calling out, "Don't let it loose! Don't let it loose!" So Leda was saved from the leopard, but he did not know his way out of the jungle. He wandered about till he came to the place where the wild buffaloes used to sleep at night, and he swept up the place and made it clean, and then took refuge in a hollow tree. He stayed there some days, sweeping up the place daily and supporting himself on the fruit of a fig tree. At last, one day, the buffaloes left one cow behind to watch and see who it was who swept up their sleeping place. The cow pretended to be too ill to rise, and Leda, after watching for some time, came out and swept the ground as usual, and then tried to pull the sick cow up by the tail. But she would not move, so he went back to his hollow tree. When the buffaloes returned, they heard that it was a kind-hearted man who cleaned their sleeping place. So they called Ledha out and said that they would keep him as their servant, to clean their sleeping place and to scrub them. When they bathed in the river, they made him taste the milk of all the cows, and appointed the cow whose milk he liked best to supply him. Thenceforward he used to wander about with the buffaloes, and he made a flute and used to play on it. One day, after scrubbing the buffaloes, he washed his head in the river, and some of his hairs came out. So he wrapped them up in a leaf and set the packet to float down the stream. Lower down the stream, two princesses were bathing with their attendants, and when they saw the packet, they tried who could fish it out, and it was the younger princess who caught it. Then they measured the hairs and found them 12 cubits long. The princess who had taken the packet from the water went home and took to her bed and said that she would not eat until the man was found to whom the hairs belonged. Her father, the Rajah, sent messengers in all directions to search for the man, but they could not find him. Then he sent a parrot, and the parrot flew up high, and looking down saw Leda with the buffaloes in the forest. But it did not dare to go near. So the parrot returned and told the Rajah that the man was in the forest, but that no messenger could approach for fear of the wild buffaloes. However, a crow said, "I can bring him if anyone can." So they sent the crow, and it went and perched on the backs of the buffaloes and began to peck them. Then Leda threw stones at it, but it would not go away. Then he threw a stick at it, and last of all he threw his flute. The crow caught up the flute and flew up to a tree with it. Leda ran after it, but the crow kept flying on a short distance, and Ledha still pursued until he came to the Raja's city. The crow flew on till it entered the room where the princess lay, and dropped the flute into the hands of the princess. Leda followed right into the room, and they shut him in, and the princess gave him his flute after he had promised to marry her. So he stayed there a long time, but meanwhile the buffaloes all got weak and ill for want of someone to look after them. One day Leda set off to the jungle with his wife to see them, and when he saw how ill the buffaloes were, he decided to build a house in the jungle and live there. And the Rajah sent them money and horses and cattle and elephants and servants, and they built a palace, and Leda subdued all the jungle and became a great Rajah. And he made a highway to his father in law's home, and used to go to and fro on it. Conclusion of our journey. And so we reach the conclusion of our journey for today, within the unending worlds of words and the never folding pages of knowledge. We have spent an enjoyable and beneficial time together within the embrace of Millennium Library, where voices meet tales and a new cultural legacy is forged. We hope you have enjoyed every moment and delved deeply into the dimensions of the story or novel we presented to you. Always remember that this grand edifice, Millennium Library, is the result of a unique collaboration between human creativity and the profound depth of artificial intelligence. Our goal is to enrich your ears and minds with the treasures of world literature and to make knowledge accessible to everyone, while preserving the ownership rights of Millennium Library for this distinctive production. Don't forget to follow us and activate the notification bell to receive all new content. And share this podcast with everyone around you, for knowledge is light, and together we illuminate the paths. Until we meet again in a future episode and a new literary adventure, may you be in the care and keeping of Allah, and within the realm of immortal words. Millennium Library, where tales are embodied, knowledge is narrated, and creativity is immortalized.